right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Hot Pudge IG Live. I am your host, Pudge Fernandez, with a very special edition tonight. As a matter of fact, tonight, if you're watching this live, Happy New Year. And if you're watching this later on, Happy New Year. It's January 1st, 2021. It is a Friday night. So, yes, it is a special edition because we usually have these IG Lives on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But we have a special guest tonight. Some really cool shit to talk about. First and foremost, like I said, hey, beginning of 2021, a new year ahead of us. We can't change the past. We can only work on the future. So let's start with that. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it simple. Keep it running. Just do what we got to do. Shout out to Barry Ribs who's watching. Hey, Barry, what's up? God, I guess I'm still, I don't know. I was in the gym today. Worked out a little too much. I'm getting a little foggy. But anyway, so let's get a guest on. A very special guest going way back. I know him from my open mic days 15 years ago. Yes, there he is, Mr. Tim Warner.
How are you, buddy?
How are you, Tim? Thank you for coming on.
Hey, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I thought everybody in fucking New York forgot who I was. So
No, absolutely not. And much respect. This is why it's a special edition, man, because nobody should forget. I think everybody knows where you're at. And where you're at is the road. You left New York. And you're literally on the road living out of your car doing comedy, which should be every comedian's fucking dream, just to leave everything behind and just focus on the one thing that they love. If they're not jealous of you, there's something fucking wrong. if they're worth their weight in salt, they should be watching this. Maybe not today live, but at a later date. Because I got a pen and pad. I'm ready to take notes. Like, this is it. I mean, and it's nothing new. It's been done before in the history of comedy. I mean, I know Gary Shandling lived out of his car. Tiffany Haddish lived out of her car. You know what I'm saying? So, and even comedians I know, Johnny Watson, who I was on the road with, I can't say for sure. I'm sure he did, but he did hit the road, and he taught me a few valuable lessons about how to survive on the road. So, yeah, man. Looking forward to talking to you. How you feeling? How'd you spend your New Year's Eve?
By myself in my car. I mean, I did a spot last night, and they got a bunch of kava bars down here in Florida, mostly in Largo, Florida, which is like I don't know, it's a little bit above like St. Pete, a little west of Tampa. And dude, there's like, the thing was with the kava bars in Florida, there was like a loophole with kava bars. So like when they had their thing of a lockdown for 2 months, for some reason the kava bars could still be open. So like a lot of musicians and whatever else, they started doing mics and shows at these fucking kava lounges. And
real quick, what is a kava? What's it?
I don't know. It's a fucking root you put in water or something, and it's supposed to make you fucking chill and relax and whatever else, mind, body type of shit.
So they serve this root at these kava. They serve this kava root at these kava bars.
Yeah, it's great, dude. It's not alcohol, so it's like for someone like me, you know, doesn't drink anymore or whatever else. It's coffee. They got espressos, lattes, all that shit. And then they also do kava. And it just fucking, I don't know, man, mellows you out. It's not like, maybe more like kind of like a CBD kind of mellow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like it, dude, because you don't have to deal with the drunks, you know?
Absolutely. We'll look into it. I never heard of kava root.
Yeah, they got a couple spots in the city, whatever else. I've gone to them before because it's where like a lot of the sober kids hang out and whatever else. But they don't really, you know how New York is, dude. It's every fucking restaurant's a goddamn size of a closet. So a lot of the places, they don't, do kind of any shows or even have the space for it.
Right.
But they're around the city and whatever else.
Okay, definitely look into it because I'm a former drinker myself, so definitely something going on there. Hopefully kava root, right? It's a root.
Yeah, they do they crush it like into a powder.
Okay.
and then they put it in like in water or whatever else, and they serve it to you like in a bowl. They call it a shell, and yeah, you kind of you drink it like a bowl in a sense, and whatever else.
So these places in Florida, these Cava lounges, they have a
Yeah,
little bit of a carte blanche as far as being open more than anybody else, and they're able to do performances.
yeah. I mean, pretty much, dude. Everything's open in some kind of capacity
Okay.
down here. Even if it's like 25%, like the Improv down here just opened up right before Christmas again. So I don't know exactly what they're doing capacity wise, whatever else, but yeah, I mean, there's 4 clubs here in Tampa. There's Coconuts out in St. Petersburg, down near the beach. There's Side Splitters, which is kind of, I guess, the Grand Central District of St. Petersburg. Real artsy, a lot of local shops. Um, probably a lot of blue in that area, a lot of murals. Hold on, let me think. Then there's the Improv, and then there's also Side Splitters.
Right.
So those are the 4 clubs here. And then, some of the kids do mics at bars and whatever else. And then musicians and whatever else got Cava places.
So the comedy scene is pretty consistent over there in Florida?
Oh, dude, it's like fucking February here. Uh, it's like February fucking 2020 here.
Really?
Yeah, man. It's wonderful, dude. It's they got a scene, and they got some good communities here, and I'm just fucking blessed, man. I'm absolutely blessed.
And you're able to get up every night?
I've been double dipping, probably about 4 nights a week now. I'm probably getting at least I don't know. I probably get at least half an hour. Well, I get at least 15 minutes if I get up once. But I'm probably doing about half an hour. If I really wanted to hustle and not get to know anyone, I could probably do maybe 45. I could probably hit up 3 spots, do like 45, 50 minutes.
Altogether, added up altogether.
Yeah.
Holy shit. So the minutes are good, because those aren't the minutes we're getting down here.
What minutes are you getting? Are you even getting seconds?
Well, actually, yeah. Well, up here we're getting nothing. But even back in the day, if I did 3 mics, that was 15 minutes, 5 minutes each. You're telling me you hit 3 spots and you're doing 45? That's fucking amazing.
Yeah, because a lot of these Cava places, what they do is they do like, musicians get 3 songs, and comics get 15.
Really?
A lot of times, dude, I just get going. Like the other night, was it Monday? I did, this gave me 15, whatever. I ended up doing 20, but it felt like 10 minutes. And it wasn't just me saying that. It was also the audience when I was like, God, I just did 20. And they're like, didn't even feel like that.
That's good. I mean, I know, the old saying, when you're having fun, you don't even feel the time. But when the audience feels like that, that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird, Pudge. They appreciate. It's not only that they like me here, they fucking appreciate me. Let me tell you something, dude. They had whoever said hi, how are you? I did one of these Cava spots. There's this dude, Professor J, Jared Thompson, and Nick, and I can't pronounce his last name. I'm terribly sorry. But I did like one of their places, whatever, one night. Nick has family in New Hampshire. He goes up to New Hampshire, dude, and Jared was still here, and I did like a Christmas Eve thing or the day after, something like that. And the dude fucking wrote me a message that was just like, dude, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for coming to our thing, whatever else. Loved your point of view. I hope to get to see you again. And it was genuine, and it was nice, and it wasn't he wasn't trying to fucking gain anything or try to get a spot for me, or you know what I mean? Like, it was a fucking genuine, like, dude, you're right on, man. You're solid. So it's pretty incredible.
It's always been said that the New York City comedy scene is jaded. The audience is jaded. I mean, it's and as far as comedians, it's overpopulated. It's hard to receive any kind
It's
of
not
love.
overpopulated with comedians. It's overpopulated with people trying to do comedy. There's an ample amount of comedians, but there's a lot of people just fucking doing it that are going to be doing it for fucking like maybe 2 to 3 years until it gets a little tough.
Yeah, there's always that transition. New comics, 3, 4, 5 years, and then they're out. I mean, that's just the comedy wheel it turns.
But comedians, yeah, there's a perfect amount there.
But definitely a different vibe. You said these Cava is these Cava lounges, are they Tampa or is it all of Florida?
This was Largo, I guess, is like the floor, like the how do I say it? The capital. Like, they have the most Cava bars in Florida, in Largo. So
Largo.
There's just a bunch of them, dude, that are all like kind of within the same area in a sense. Like, they're literally like, there's like 4 or 5 of them, dude, like 4 or 5 miles apart.
And all these Cava bars have entertainment, and you can jump on.
Yeah. I mean, not every comic, but they really like what I do down here. They really like my point of view. They really like me questioning everything that has gone on in 2020 and hopefully putting some kind of punchline at the end of it. And even if I don't, they truly appreciate the fact that I'm trying to explore and that I'm just not, fucking talking about vaginas and boners while there's a destabilization of America happening,
So I know you're in Tampa now. Is that basically going to be your home for now, that general area?
I don't know. As of right now, because of some things that are going on in other states, or I should say things that aren't going on in other states, and the fact that at least this music community wants me to move here.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, it's pretty fascinating, Pudge. I'm going to stay here through the month. I think I'm going to stay here through January. And I didn't plan on doing that. But here's the scenario. All right, this is kind of some dumb stuff, but hear me out for a minute because it'll make sense. The Tampa Bay Lightning just won the Stanley Cup. The Tampa Bay Devil Rays were just in the World Series. The Buccaneers are in the playoffs. They got Tom Brady, and the fucking they're going to have the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And also the Toronto Raptors are down here. I think they're playing in the Tampa Bay Lightning arena. There is also WWE is now playing in the Devil Rays, whatever that is, Tropicana Field or something.
There's a lot of action.
So, but a lot of action in the entertainment. You know what I mean? There's not only the wrestlers here, but the writing staff and fucking all of them are around here. Toronto Raptors and their people are all around here. It's pretty fucking fascinating, dude. And I'm not the only misfit comic down here. There's a dude from San Diego, Nashville, Jersey, Maryland. And it's fucking beautiful because, like, all of us, we didn't get to do comedy for fucking 8.5, 9 months, whatever the cunt. And then we come down here and we're able to do it. And then we also have like this, it's like going to an AA meeting or a VFW where it's like, we all have the common bond of the fucking lockdown up north. And then to come here and we're just so fucking extremely grateful to just be getting up, where it's almost contagious in a sense. And we've really bonded. And it's amazing, dude. I would say I have a comedy crew of like fucking 3-4 people down here, dude, that are from out of state, recent transplants, and we all got the same mentality. Like, dude, where are you getting up tonight? Where are we going tonight? Where are we writing today? Where are we fucking? It's again, dude. I'll say it a billion times while we talk. I'm fucking blessed. It's the goddamn best decision I ever made. Getting the fuck out of New York.
When did you come up with that decision? Was it last year? Was it the pandemic? Like
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day, 2020 Mother's Day.
Yeah, you know, we've talked and whatever, and during all of this, and you know, I was out and about a lot in the city. It was fucking magic. It was beautiful. I had the whole city to myself,
Yeah.
and I don't think I want New York any other way. Once the people came out, the real virus is when I kind of said to myself, like, this is what happened. Mother's Day, I was walking around and smoking joints, walking around Manhattan. And this was, May 21st or whenever the hell Mother's Day is. And I went by, like, the Greenwich Village there, by the Pear and the fucking Lantern and all that shit, and McDougal, Thompson there, because I wanted to see if the ladies were going to be out, having mimosas and cackling outside on the sidewalks and whatever. And it just, as much as I find that annoying in 2019, I would have found it soothing in 2020, and it wasn't happening. And when I walked by the Pear, there's, you go down Minetta Lane there, and there's that little alley, and and I just started having flashbacks to all the times that I've passed out there, or done lines or fucking drinking.
Yeah.
And, I just didn't feel good about myself. And I said to myself, I think this might be my last negative relationship that I have to get rid of. For some, I don't know who's watching or whatever, but 2020, I cleaned house and I got rid of a lot of people in my life that weren't necessarily supportive, or they got rid of me. The universe blessed me with that, one or the other. And New York was just the last one. Like, no matter how great I am, I will only be 80% in New York City because there's this shit. I'm not happy with my resume. And I don't know. I doubt if anyone else cared. People probably, quote unquote, forgave me, but I haven't necessarily forgiven myself. And being there, I was just fucking miserable. And it was a constant reminder. I mean, dude, I would go for walks and there would just be drugs on the ground, and here everyone drives, so their drugs are in their car, it's just a mindset thing, dude. And then I headlined in Boise, I don't know, around the end of July. And I said to myself that if I go out to Boise and my 21 grams, my soul feels amazing, I'm leaving. And I went to Boise and I absolutely loved it. And I noticed 4 days in that I didn't call myself a loser. I wasn't upset. I didn't get angry. I was very somewhat content. And I came back, and that's when I put the post up on the internet that in 59 days, I'm going to be living out of my car that I don't have yet, performing comedy wherever I can, making money off my Patreon, YouTube, and eBay. And I just think it's going to work. And a couple weeks later, an old buddy from high school comes out of nowhere. He's a dealership. He has a dealership. It was Middleton, New York. He was a financial director for VW Mazda, and he got this fucking Jetta coming in, and he was like, "This is the perfect car for you," whatever else. And then tried to get a loan. I almost got through it, So then I put up a picture of me with a cardboard sign, a little stick, and a handkerchief at the end, like I was Tom Sawyer or some shit, whatever. And it said, you know, I'll perform stand-up comedy in a 2012 VW Jetta, you know, for a co-signer. And then 4 days later, one of my fucking Patreons hits me up and asks me about the loan. And then they signed the loan. And
wow.
now I'm paying it back.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, dude. So, you know, it's just funny to me, like all these comics, you know, I don't have credits or whatever else and shit in New York. So, you know, they kind of maybe don't give me the time of day or whatever else. And it's like, yeah, tell me an audience member that would fucking co-sign a $15,000 loan.
Holy shit, that's fucking nuts. And this
Beautiful.
is from a Patreon, a fan. I mean, fuck a TV credit. You got like a cosign credit. You got 15,000 cosign credit.
Dude,
holy shit.
I am slowly building not just an audience, but a community. And again, man, I'm fucking blessed. I'm absolutely blessed.
So let's say if somebody wants to follow in your footsteps, like what are the key steps before leaving New York? What was there like a checklist of things that you had to put together, or as far as like breaking your lease, leaving your apartment, or you just?
My thing was always I was in Sunnyside for 2 years, but my apartment was always month to month, so I could leave at any time. So cool. Then I wanted to vote in person. I wanted to vote for Joe Jorgensen, the woman, because I'm really woke, unlike some of these fucking SJW, AOC, vagina juice drinking people that think they're woke voting for a crusty white guy. And so I voted, and then I fucking left.
What did you? So you took everything with you. Everything you possess and you own is in the car.
No, I took what was necessary. It's all in the trunk.
Okay. And what about everything else? You left it behind?
I mean, I just left a desk and a bed, and then a new roommate moved in beginning of November, so I sold my bed for $100 to him.
Nice.
You know, and then the desk, I don't know, that stupid Dean David moved in or whatever else, so he's probably using it. Or hopefully Mike Kerrigan was living with me, so hopefully he's using it, but they probably threw it out, whatever else, I don't know.
So basically just in the car, gas money, go. Did you have an idea did you have anything plotted on a map as far as where to go first, or did you have anything set up somewhere, or was it just blind?
I kind of thought I would use where my Patreons, the cities they were in, is where I would go. But, you know, I first went to Connecticut to do an interview with an old friend, Mike Milazzo, a musician here in New York, unbelievable guitarist. Quick shout out to Mike. And then I went to Syracuse to see family, whatever else. And then from there, I went to Niagara Falls. And then I went to Ohio. And Ohio was fucking closed, mask mandates, and fucking And then, so then I went to Kentucky, and I went to Lexington, and the whole thing is I was watching this club in Georgetown, Kentucky. It's about 20 minutes north from Lexington, and they were open the whole fucking lockdown and whatever else, and I rolled into town on a Tuesday, and apparently that Monday, fucking Kentucky went into a 2-week fucking whatever thing. Pause, a still, a freeze, the softer language they use instead of saying lockdown. And
yeah.
And then,
timeout.
Yeah, it's just it's just funny at this point. It's not even frustrating anymore. So I went to Nashville. They had a curfew at 10. So a lot of things weren't happening. I mean, music-wise, Tennessee was fucking all about it. That's what I didn't understand. Like, the comedy clubs weren't fucking open, but goddamn, every bar had some musician playing a fucking C chord, and they all had people in there fucking masked down and whatever else, fucking listening to some
So
dude cover
Tennessee,
some George Strait song.
so
And,
hot for music. Tennessee is hot,
oh, Nashville, dude. Nashville is music, dude. It,
but no comedy. No,
nothing was open.
doesn't make any sense.
Well, none of this has made sense, dude. You know what I mean? If you're looking for logic when it comes to this COVID lockdown, dude, you're not going to find it.
Right.
You know. So then after Nashville, one of my Patreons is also a comedian, Tamagram. She was down in Huntsville, Alabama. So I hit her up and I was like, "Yo, what the fuck's going on in Alabama?" And she's like, "Dude, we're open. You can get up fucking at least 5 nights a week." So then I was like, all right, fuck it, dude. I'm going to Huntsville. And I spent about 2 weeks in Huntsville. And then I left Huntsville. I went to Bill Hicks' grave in Leakesville, Mississippi. And then I went to Pensacola. And then I came to Tampa. And I've been in Tampa now about 2 weeks.
So definitely, so out of all that traveling, I guess Alabama and Tampa were probably the hottest cities, state.
Yeah, in a sense. You know, I wish Nashville was open, dude. I mean, there's a lot of drinking there, which, you know, it's fine. I get it. But it's just a fucking dope city, dude. Like, and then also it's just the people, you know, like the Southern hospitality and people talking to you and whatever else. It's just, you know, today, dude, it's like I walk down the street here in Tampa and, you know, there's a lady with a dog. She walks by. Happy New Year. Hey, Happy New Year to you. A guy on a bike. Hey, Happy New Year, buddy. Hey, same to you. It's just really nice, man. And I've been going since Georgetown, Kentucky. I've been going to AA meetings during the day. And then, you know, then I go somewhere and write whatever else, fuck around, do some shit, record a podcast or something, and then I go do some stand up. And the perspective and the stories that I've heard from people about how they've been dealing with 2020. I mean, all the way from Connecticut to here, it's been truly, truly amazing, dude. And you know, this whole divide that they're trying to show us and whatever else, dude, I really think in my opinion, there's 1% divide that they're showing us 90% of the time, because I'm really finding out, dude, that there are a lot of common bonds amongst us.
Somebody, I forgot who or where, same fucking thing. We're getting showed maybe 10% of division, but 90% aren't. They're just showing. It had to be somebody's podcast or a conversation I heard. But yes, and you're seeing it live. You're seeing it because you're going across the country.
Yeah.
And it's that old saying, you know, we have more things in common than we don't. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, I remember it didn't matter if you were Republican or Democrat. Yeah, we go back and forth around election time, but the rest of the year we were cool, you know? And it was just so common. It was just no big deal. And like it is now. Now it's worse than Red Sox-Yankee rivalry. Now people are fucking going fisticuffs and fingers and fucking, it's ridiculous the way the country is divided. But yes, it's getting fueled. The media is fueling it.
Well, first of all, again, those punches or whatever you were just talking about, dude, that's rare. It's not like, again, it's you know, it's like
they magnify.
It's like you take the BLM, right? You take that, and it's like you got 2 or 3, 4 Antifa people in there fucking up the goddamn party for everyone else. And I feel like that's what's going on in America is you got like fucking 10 people, not really, but you know, it's like you got a small percentage of people fucking up the party.
But it gets magnified.
Yeah.
It gets magnified.
I mean, dude, this whole year, I mean, all of last year, dude, was it was a psychological warfare, you know, and you were in the military, you know, this is all made to weaken our will. This has been a war on hope. This has been a war on traditions. And it has been a psych op to weaken us so that we don't have hope in the system. We don't have hope in America, and we get less and less involved, and they control us more and more.
Keep us following. Keep us followers, not leading.
100%.
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely. I mean, because I have nothing but great memories from when I spent 4 years in Texas. I've been to Florida, you know, and I don't remember the animosity. It's exactly what you said, that Southern friendliness. I used to get it all the time. I wasn't accustomed to it when I was a 20-year-old out of New York City. But then when I got it, it was like, oh, shit, this is cool. And I know that's how it is. And I don't believe the media. And
Some
you're
of
out
it's
there.
fake, but, you know, they're still polite. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, sure. What do you what's the next step? Do you already have planned where you're gonna go next?
Well, what I'd like to do, here's what I have in my head. But again, with the CDC or the WHO, whatever, and the regulations, you know, it's different for state to state. In some places, it's different county to county.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, you know, New Orleans, Houston, Austin, Phoenix, Vegas. And when I get out there, I can have an opportunity to headline in Boise again. And then I'd probably do that and then hit up Denver.
All right, so you're in Tampa and you're gonna head west. You're gonna just follow the New Orleans right into Texas, Arizona, Nevada. Okay.
Correct.
Nice.
That's as of this moment right now. Like, again, when I got here, you know, I thought I'd be leaving around this time. But I just, you know, the great thing is, dude, I could just, it's unbelievable performing comedy outside of New York because you don't have to worry, like, not even worry, but I've seen that, like, there's so much stuff that New York comics try to do to make sure that they're relevant, other than just killing all the time, because not all of us necessarily get the opportunities to go on stage because people may not book us, or, you know, we may not have some kind of credits, or even people vouching per se. But dude, I don't have to worry about, like, posting to Facebook. I don't have to worry about any of that. Like, all I have to do, dude, is just live and try to write the material that I feel is true to me and hopefully will connect with audiences. And that's all I have to concern myself with. If I want to post something to something, I will. But I may not. And it's great. You know, like, I thought about kind of showing all the moments of everything, but it's just like, dude, fuck it. Live life. Why do you have to goddamn post it? And plus, with my podcast, The Joker and the Rye, I'm documenting everything video-wise, you know? And it's pretty wonderful, dude. And the people, you know, I don't have a lot of people paying attention yet, but the ones that are absolutely loving the podcast. And it's again, I'm blessed. It's overwhelming. You know, it's really beautiful.
What's the hardest part about being on the road by yourself, living out of the car, state to state, city to city?
I guess sometimes during the day, it gets a little rough if there's some stale hours, you know, and it's just me. And it's like all my day is waiting to get up. So I try to be as productive as possible to consume time. And I'm also, again, you know, I go to AA meetings, I meet people, I talk with them. They fucking love me at these meetings because, like, for example, dude, when I go to a meeting, if I've never been there before or whatever else, a thing they do at the meetings, they're like, is anyone ever, is this your first time here? Or are you out of state? I always raise my hand, you know, hey, I'm Tim, alcoholic addict. Hi, Tim. Yeah, I'm in from fucking New York City, and I just want to say, thank you very much for having this meeting. Thank you for being here. I haven't been able to go to a meeting since March, and all their fucking jaws just dropped. And I'm like, and I'm just truly grateful to be here. And I hope everyone in here, I don't want you to think about all the meetings you went to since March. I want you to think about all the meetings you didn't go to that you could have since March. Don't take this for granted. And it usually fucking opens people's eyes and whatever else. And then, of course, afterwards we have conversations. I may give a shirt out to somebody or fucking give them business cards, whatever else. And, but I've been finding, like, this week's been a little tough. You might hear it in the background, but Florida loves their fucking fireworks. They love living life, and they love the fact that there is no longer a 0 at the end of the year. There's now a 1. So there's been fireworks all week. So it's like some of the fucking Walmarts that I've been sleeping in, whatever else. It's just been a little difficult this week. So I've been it's hard to sleep during the day in the car. I mean, like yesterday, dude, it was like 83 degrees. Today it was like 83. So it's kind of hard to sleep in the car when it's just fucking hot.
How do you pick a place to sleep? Obviously, you're sleeping in the car.
Walmart.
But how do you, just Walmart. You find a Walmart.
I mean, rest areas, when I was coming down. But, I mean, when I'm in cities and whatever else, Walmarts.
Because they're 24 hours?
No, they're not. They're not all 24 hours. I mean, the people working there are people that will be there, but they close, like for here, for example, they close at midnight. And then they open up at 7.
Okay.
But, I come in the morning and I use the bathroom, whatever, and I'm starting to get to know people there. I'm starting to know a couple of the people that do overnights and, like, come out and grab all the carts and whatever. So I got some people looking out for me. There's a nice gentleman, Bob, who's just the fucking nicest guy in the world. He's just happy to be alive. He's happy to be working, even if it's at a place like Walmart. He's just happy to be out and just fucking talking to people and whatever else. It's just great. So I do Walmarts. I've been finding out. I don't know how it is in other places. I will find out in the future. But there's like Walmarts, and then there's like the grocery store Walmarts. And earlier this week, I was hanging out down in St. Petersburg Beach because a gentleman comic, Ron Barba, was in town. So I hung out with him and his cousin. And then Coconuts had an open mic Tuesday. So I just stayed on the beach and wrote and read books and whatever and got sun and saw a lot of thongs and so forth. And it was really beautiful. And
so you can sleep on the beach out there? You can sleep on the beach?
No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. No, that doesn't sound safe.
Okay.
People go and do drugs on a beach at night, dude. No one goes to the beach at night to be pleasant.
I thought I saw it in a movie one time. I thought it was exciting.
Well, just because it was in a movie, dude.
Okay, so Walmart's definitely safer. There's a comfort level there.
Yeah, but they had a grocery store Walmart, and those don't have staff 24 hours. So I slept there one night, and dude, there were just people around my car and whatever. Dude, it was fucking weird. It was weird. And I'm just like kind of ducked in the back, and I sleep in the back here. I got a pillow, and then I put a sheet, just a bed sheet over me to kind of hide me. And on a good night, dude, I get a good 6.5 hours. I'm usually up by 6:30, 7 o'clock. I meditate in my car for about 10, 15 minutes. And then and then I just write for whatever about like a journal, because there's people that are telling me I should write a book about all of this. So I'm journaling every day. And then from there, it just depends. Down here, I'll usually end up going to a kava bar to write. It depends if I need to charge my phone or use a laptop, or I'll just go to the beach, whatever that's around, and I'll go there. Like I said, read, write, record a podcast.
So no fear about sleeping in a car by yourself?
After the first night, no.
No
No.
incidents, no incidents knocking on, I feel, because I've slept so many times in my car in New York, and it always feels like someone's knocking or just waking you up.
Well,
Okay.
again, dude, it's kind of about being smart about it. So it's like I sleep underneath the security camera, which is usually around lights. So I'm well lit. If anything did happen, I would be near a camera where at least we could see some shit, So, I try to be smart about it. I don't park off in the back area in the dark or whatever. So, it's just you try to be as smart about it as you can. But Florida also has a lot of security because there's a lot of troublemakers at night. A lot of the rest areas have security and whatever else. So
Okay. And I gotta ask,
yeah.
how's the bathroom situation?
Well, I got a couple like wide mouth Tropicana orange juice things that I'll piss in at night and then dump it out into the grass. In the morning. Shitting. Because the unemployment hasn't been that much. I haven't been eating a whole lot, so I don't really kind of shit that much. But I'll go in maybe to a Burger King. I mean, again, this place is open, so I can go in places, use the bathroom, whatever else.
Okay.
I have shit outside a couple times. I got toilet paper in here, whatever else. And
okay, you got your supplies.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I don't know, man. Shitting outside is pretty fucking. It was a lot more satisfying than shitting on a toilet. Surprisingly.
I've done it a million times in the Army. So
Okay.
I've been there, done that, and shit in the desert, shit in the woods, and we usually dig a little hole and a little e-tool, little shovel-like thing, and fucking you sit one ass cheek on the tool, then you just take a dump. Or when I was mechanized, because this is the genius of military guys. Somebody took a folding chair and cut a hole in the middle of the chair and then taped the seat cushion, a toilet seat cushion. So because we were in a vehicle, so you fold it right up, and when you needed to go to the bathroom, you just took the chair with you into the woods, unfold it, and there it is. You just sit on it and take a dump. So yeah, I've been there, done that. Lots of possibilities. Nothing to brag about, but it is. You do what you got to do.
Yeah. But I mean, for the most part, you could shower on the beach. I know a couple people out here, whatever else. So they've let me come in and shower, whatever else. I do laundry like I was in New York at a laundromat.
Okay.
And
well, shower. Do you have baby wipes? Because that's how we did it in the infantry. Baby wipes.
No, I just got a bunch of supplies. Worst case, dude.
Okay.
Like beaches have bathrooms.
Gotcha.
So I'll go take a bird bath or whatever else. At places and so forth. So,
how's your budget? Like, do you have a strict budget that you follow?
Well, one of the reasons why I was in Huntsville for 2 weeks was that my 39 weeks of unemployment came to an end, and I had to reapply.
Yeah.
So I was doing $300 a week on the unemployment, and then when I had to reapply, they said I wasn't going to get any money at all whatsoever, and I was like, "Fuck!" But they're like, "You should reapply anyway." So I did that, and now I get 182 a week, and then I get about 230 a month from Patreon, and that pays for my car loan right now. And then everything else, like this past 3-4 weeks, no, I'd probably say like the last 3 weeks, I've been getting on 182, and that's been a little difficult. But Little Caesars got $5 pizzas And I don't know, being homeless in New York, dude. That was preseason for something like this. Like, I'm really taking a lot of the methods that I learned for being homeless and applying them to this situation. The only difference is I got a fucking car this time. Woo-hoo, instead of just sleeping on a bench or whatever else.
Gotcha. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, so what's next once the unemployment runs out?
It ain't gonna. I got 23 more weeks, and then
Okay.
stupid there. These fucking ass clowns just signed that fucking new thing. So now I'm gonna get $300 for 11 weeks, and apparently $600 is coming. So, I'm golden, pony boy.
It's a it's a good time. It's definitely a good time.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So I'm just gonna take complete advantage of it, and I'll try to put money aside that I can. But I mean, I'm a minimalist, dude. So like, I don't need much. I got diesel. I got a diesel car, and gas
Really?
down here, dude. Diesel, I can get $2.25 a gallon. It's $20, dude. I'm set for over a week.
So you intentionally bought a diesel car because it'll take you.
Again, my buddy from high school who worked at the VW place, he picked the diesel because he was like, this will be, trust me, dude, it lasts longer. Like, the gas might be a little bit more expensive, but he picked diesel. I don't have a fucking clue about cars.
What year is the car?
2012.
And how many miles did it have?
67,000.
Okay. How many have you put on so far?
I think, shit, dude, that's a good question. It might be around 5 right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I've probably done about 5,000 miles.
And it's smooth.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this baby's fucking mint, man.
Because that would be my biggest fear. I guess the biggest fear is something going wrong with my car.
Well, dude, I got 125,000 or 4 years unlimited roadside assistance anywhere in the country.
Nice, good. That's good coverage. Because you lose that car, it's fucking nuts.
Yep.
I mean, it's a wrap.
Yep.
Now I know you're getting up. You're finding plenty of stage time in Alabama, in Florida.
Yeah.
Plenty of stage time. But what about paid gigs? Are you able to make any side money with that?
I could, but no one knows me yet.
Gotcha.
But it's possible. But I mean, dude, I don't know what it is about me. I don't know what it is about Tampa. But whoever I meet and whatever else, there's always a sentence that comes up within 10 minutes where it's like, you know what, dude, you seem like a really good guy. You seem like a great guy. I had a lady the other night, dude, hanging out with Ron Barber there. He meets this person, whatever. I go to meet him at some fucking really, really foo-foo kind of bar that I shouldn't be in, And he's talking with this woman, whatever. And I get talking with her for about 5 minutes or so, 6 minutes. And then we're going to go walk to a bar right down the street. It's like a 2-3 minute walk. And we get walking, and so it's like Ron, his cousin, me, and then this woman's behind me. When all of a sudden I hear her go, hey, Tim. And I turn around. I go, yeah. She goes, I want to ask you a question, but you can't say no. I'm like, fuck, all right. And she goes, do you want $40? I can't take your money. I can't do it. And she's like, look, you've cracked me up in a very short amount of time, and I can afford to give this. And I heard you tell Ron that you only had $16 until Tuesday. So take this money. And I was like, no. She stuffed it in my pocket. And she's like, I don't know, dude. There's something about you. I think you're going to make it. So fucking take the goddamn money. So I was like, all right, okay, yes, I'll take the money. And then the funny thing is, right after she goes, you're not going to get drugs, are you? And I was like, no, I'm going to get some jewels. I'm going to get some food, and I'm going to get $10 in gas. That's what I'm doing with your $40. If you want, I'll Instagram you the receipts or whatever the fuck you want to do. But, you know, I met some other dude who he knows some people that run some bars. And he again, hanging out with Ron, got talking with this dude. Actually, his name was Tim. And I ended up finding out he's a former meth head. He died twice and has come back.
Wow.
He's been clean for like a year and a half, 2 years. And he kind of feels like, you know, the good Lord let him live so he could do things like help people like me and whatever else. The amount of knowledge he had about bowling and how to bowl. Like, the dude used to do some shit with bowling, and, like, you know, it was amazing, dude. Like, there's 5 boards in between each arrow, for example. That's shit I didn't know. He knew about, like, the oil and, like, how left-handed bowlers have more of an advantage because most people are right-handed. So they get more oil as a left and blah, 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 blah. And he also fucking restores cars. And this motherfucker drove me around, dude, in like a fucking 1952 Jaguar, like, roadster. It looked like a rocket. And we're going down the fucking strip there in St. Petersburg, and it's a 2-seater, dude. It was fucking mint, man. And, like, it's just, I don't know. I don't know if it's the haircut or the people here, but it's just like, I'm just meeting so many fucking people and, you know, passing cards out, whatever. They hear a little bit about my story. They're fucking intrigued. I see my YouTube numbers going up, not only just the views, but I'm seeing the watch time. I'm noticing now that there's people starting to share my shit, and whatever else. And it's just, I don't know, dude. Everything I've ever wanted is fucking happening. I mean, it's not huge or anything, but it's like, I don't know. If I could, look, I think it's just me and you, so I could just be honest and talk with you, whatever. How do I say this? You can't fuck with me right now. My energy, dude, my fucking mindset right now, the only thing that could fuck with me is this right here. This. Other than that, you can't fuck with me. You ain't gonna discourage me. You ain't gonna fucking, there's nothing you're gonna do to get into my goddamn head. It's me in comedy. That's it.
Absolute freedom.
100%.
Absolute freedom.
100%.
100% absolute freedom. You don't understand how I'm feeling right now. Like that's why I posted it up. You're living it. This is it. This is it. This is the max. I hope comedians, if they're watching tonight, awesome. If they're watching later, you better fucking take notes, because this is it. I've had conversations with family members about this. I'm like, this is it. This should be on every comedian's checklist, to-do list. Just hitting the road, finding yourself, and just living 100%.
The thing is, you can do it so successfully nowadays because, again, you know, these dumb little cell phones, dude, it's how I get around. It's how you go on a stupid Facebook, dude. You're in a city, you join their goddamn comedy groups. Maybe you introduce yourself. You comment on their things. You see where people are performing. And then you could Google Map or iPhone Map, all that shit. You know, there's things like Patreon now. You know, if you get 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, you can make a fucking hay penny. Like, there's so many ways that this can be done nowadays. You know, and honestly, dude, everything that I have right now is from the fucking internet. You know, the cosigner, internet. The fucking guy who got me in the car was from the internet. You know, so we have the whole world right here. But the thing is, again, 2020 has been a fucking war on hope. So there's a lot of people that don't think they can fucking do it. And regardless of your situation, man, if you have a fucking will, everyone worries about how to do something. How am I going to do that? How am I going to go around the country? You don't need to know how to do anything. You need to know why you're doing something. And if you have strong enough whys and they're righteous, you can accomplish fucking anything. The hows will fall into place. I literally kind of had no fucking plan. I had no plan. Sunday, I'm performing at fucking Side Splitters open mic. And I got a couple comics that have reached out to the people that work there. They have told me to hey, mention my name to this dude and whatever else. So it's like, I don't know what I'm doing, but it's just falling into place. There's an old James Dean quote about New York, where it's like New York's one of those cities, dude, where if you just let things happen, they will. If you just let it, quit trying to force shit and just let it. Just be the best that you could be. And, dude, the energy that you put out will fucking come back to you. You know, a year and a half ago, dude, I was a drop-down fucking drunk addict loser. A year and a half ago. And now I'm standing here in the middle of some awful parking lot in Tampa, Florida, doing this shit. You know, I'm getting stage time tomorrow. Tonight, everything's closed because of New Year's Eve last night. So,
Right.
you know, no one's going out tonight. So there's so many things closed, especially comedy-wise, whatever else. So it's like, again, since I've got to Tampa, dude, I have not stopped moving. I have not had a day to just be lazy. I've been boom, boom, boom. And, you know, and if I can, I get done with the set. And if there's still time and I got to go from fucking Tampa to St. Petersburg over 275, it's probably a 20, 25-mile drive. But, dude, I'm going and I'm getting that time. And one, because I know people like in New York, for example, aren't fucking doing it. I know other people aren't doing it. So, dude, I'm just getting my reps in. And I believe even in this short amount of time in Huntsville and in Tampa, dude, my act has evolved big time. And I'm talking about some things, dude, that probably would get me canceled in New York. And, you know, because I have a different fucking opinion than the goddamn mainstream. And I'm not overly excited because we got a Biden-Kamala Harris fucking ticket. So I'm just going to let everything else go in the world and start just being happy again and popping champagne. Dude, this isn't solved yet. And fucking Democrats aren't the goddamn answer. Republicans aren't the goddamn answer. We are the fucking answer. But the problem is, this generation, we don't have a voice. We just have a fucking bunch of tweets. And that's why I think you're going to see, like in the early 90s, they had grunge in music in Seattle. I really think you're going to fucking see a grunge in comedy coming real soon. Real soon. Dudes like Andrew Schultz and dudes like Tim Dillon are being the fucking goddamn Nirvana and Pearl Jam of the fucking goddamn grunge revolution in comedy. This anti-establishment, anti-fucking capitalism and pro-people is going to be, I think, a wave that's going to happen because, again, people have fucking lost hope.
Wow. I'm just soaking this up, man. I'm just totally soaking this up. I wish I was there.
Another thing too, Pudge, the perspectives that I'm gaining the stories that I'm hearing from people, the interactions that I'm having, no one in New York is gaining this knowledge. No one in New York is creating the premises that I'm creating based on all of the people I talk to, whether I'm in Nashville, whether I'm in Georgetown, Kentucky, whether I'm in Huntsville, whether I'm in Pensacola, whether I'm in fucking Tampa. I'm hearing what everyone's saying, and it's helping me create shit that will connect with audiences and still have thought in goddamn jokes instead of just this goddamn sex and fart and let me talk about my boner or how tough it is for me to get girls. And it's like, again, there is a color revolution happening in our country right now. Who gives a fuck about your boner, moron?
You're in the right place. Your mind and soul and vision and your gut and your balls are all in the right place right now. They're in sync like no other comedian right now. And here's the question: what is there an end game? Is there an end game? Is there a goal? Is there? I mean, it's the first day of the new year. You know what's coming up. What's coming?
Here's the goal, and I've already accomplished it. In all honesty, dude, this is the end game. I had a kid who found me on Twitter some years back. He lives kind of in Bumblefuck, Kentucky. You know, it's not like Louisville, Lexington, or I think Concord. It's not like that. You know, he lives in a little whatever. He left me a YouTube comment on one of my podcast episodes, and he talked about how he hasn't drank in 9 days, and he just got his appetite back, and he just got his sleep patterns back. And that's what it's about. That's the fucking end game. I had a kid message me 2-3 days ago, dude, you know, a performer up in New York, right? He sends me a picture of this hitch that he made for the back of his car, like a U-Haul hitch that you can ride on. He made it himself. He's never done any kind of construction of any kind. So here's a person that has stepped out of their comfort zone, done something they've never done before. He's made a little hitch that he could sleep in and then also make it a stage. And he wrote me, he goes, I saw you get that fucking VW Jetta, and I just went, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to steal Tim Warner's bit. And I was like, this is the best form of plagiarism I've ever fucking seen. And Pudge, that's what it's about, dude. Whether I make it or like become famous. I mean, what's the end result of that? I at the Cava places, they had The Mandalorian on, and Bill Burr was in The Mandalorian. I watched 2 minutes of it. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Why do I want to get famous so I can do dumb shit like that and ruin Star Wars? You know? So it's like, what it's about is, I've spent so much of my life being a selfish fucking addict. And now I only have a certain amount of years left. And the only thing I could do, gratitude is an action word. And
I saw that in your post.
And being the best you is how you tell the universe thank you. You know? And it's fucking crazy, Pudge. You've known me for fucking years, bro. You knew me when I was homeless. You know. But all of the torture, whether it was from other people or more likely it came from this source, all of that, the years of crying and hating myself and wondering what the fuck is wrong with me and just abusing myself and all of that, it has prepared me for this. Like all of that shit, I never knew it at the time. But if none of that shit happened, I wouldn't be able to even start having the perspective that I have now. And all of it, dude, sleeping in the streets, dude, getting chased by a tranny in Hoboken because they wanted to fuck me in the middle of the night and I had nowhere to hide. All of that has come to this, dude. And and I'm just fucking blossoming with it. It's really incredible. Again, to think about where I was a year and a half ago, man. I was in my apartment crying about my special, thinking I fucked up my whole life, my whole fucking career, or whatever it is. And come to find out, it was all a fucking blessing. All of it. And so now it's just, what do? I got to give it all back. I'm dead in the end. I can't take it with me. There isn't a suitcase that you take up to heaven. So let me leave all of this beauty for everybody else. I just hope they don't wait till I'm dead to share my shit.
When do you leave? When are you leaving Tampa for the next state?
As of right now, I'm saying February 1st.
Okay.
But I don't know.
New Orleans, right? New Orleans?
Yeah. But
as of now.
You know, it's a blue state, so they may not be open. They may not allow shit to happen and whatever else. So, like I said, Tampa, dude, if I'm getting fucking half an hour, 4 or 5 nights a week, why would I leave right away? And plus, the thing is, dude, there's no one here to judge me and to make me think I can't be on their shows. And I can't, and there aren't the same 7 people that get up on shows and everyone else gets fucking ignored. So I can sit here, dude, and I can bomb by like trying to evolve and you know, and do premises about gematria and to talk about COVID and BLM and these bullshit divides that I'm sorry, kind of don't truly fucking exist. They're being promoted. They're being, what's the word, perpetuated in a sense. You know how many people are fucking just poor here? You know how many people are just trying to get by? They could give a shit if you're black, white, Mexican, Chinese, whatever else. They don't give a fuck. They just want to be happy. And even though happiness is just a goddamn choice, it's not a feeling. You choose to be happy. You choose to be angry. You choose to be sad. It isn't just a feeling that overwhelms you. It's ridiculous. And I don't know. I've come to the conclusion that I feel like I can be that goddamn guy to restore a little bit of hope in people and to let them know it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what sex you are. It doesn't matter if you got kids, your wife, you got a job, whatever it is, dude. If there's shit in your life you're not happy with, you can change it for the better. You can do it. And having a podcast that documents all of this is been fucking inspiring to people, you know? And that's my end game. The fame and fortune and all that shit, again, that's just bonus. But you only need 1,000 people to have a career. You don't need millions. If you get 1,000 people where you put out a book and they'll buy that book, you won. You fucking won. You don't need the Joe Rogan, you know, Dave Chappelle, millions of people, everyone knows me. You don't need that. You just need, nowadays, why is Comic-Con such a fucking huge thing? Because of the goddamn internet. The internet, Facebook groups or websites and whatever else, and they were able to, you know, you had these dorks in fucking San Diego and Nebraska and Maryland, and then they could all come to a little forum or some kind of community, dude, and be like, yeah, I love this and Dr. Doom or whatever, and we're going to go to this, and now all of that shit is blowing up. There's niche audiences everywhere. So it's like, one thing I've always said and I've always believed, everybody's got a stage. Everybody's got an audience. It's just, are you going to go out and get them? Or are you going to sit around and wait for them to come and then bitch when they're not around?
And you're doing it grassroots, the old-fashioned way.
Yep.
Like I said, you traveling and sleeping out of your car is nothing new.
Nope.
But it's very grounding. It's very grassroots. It's state to state. You're collecting. It's like you're going around. You're spreading the word of Tim Warner, and you're collecting followers.
Yeah. Community. I'm collecting a community.
the Tim Warner community. Is there, in within the near future or sometime in the far future, do you ever see yourself coming back to New York?
No. No. No.
New York is out.
Unless there's money involved, why would I go back to a place that doesn't want me? Why? Why would I do that? That's what got me drinking in the first place. That's what got me. Are you kidding me? Why would I go back? So I can not get booked and then people can ask me about going around the country? Fuck that. Fuck that. I could play ball with fucking 95% of those fucking comics in New York, dude. And so many of them didn't give me the fucking time of day. I ain't going back to that shithole. I watched New Year's Eve last night for a little bit there in Times Square, and it was fucking sad. It was fucking sad that the complacency of New Yorkers allowed their city to fucking go down. I'm running around in April and May and June. You know, I wear a mask when I go inside, and that's it. And there were people that fucking messaged me that hoped I would get COVID and die. And you're asking me if I'd go back to that fucking place? Huh. Huh.
Have you thought about somewhere, again, near future, far future, settling down
dude,
in a
I'm
particular...
amped right now.
Would you settle down eventually in a particular city or state?
Well, I said when I left, I said Denver. But,
okay,
you know, that may not be the case, you know, because, I mean, they got some fucking, whatever, some variant of the COVID that came from the UK. So they're probably in a fucking another kind of lockdown and whatever else. It's a big blue state and yada, yada. So, I mean, I might just say, dude, that's not living to me. I ain't fucking living, dude. Waiting for a government to tell me when I could do something and when I can't. Based on what?
The whole COVID thing is a huge obstacle for you right now, but you got...
No, it's an obstacle for everyone else. It ain't an obstacle
right.
for me.
Well, it's an obstacle for you as far as finding a right state or a city to get on stage. You might have to maneuver.
Certainly.
Yeah, as far as that. But it can't last. It's got to end eventually, or at least slowly open up some of those opportunities, like in Nashville. You know, they were doing the music. They weren't doing comedy. You know, Colorado might be a blue state, you know, but eventually those places will open up, and you will be able to.
But here's the thing, Pudge, like, you know, I have in the back of my head, for example, you know, you look at, you know, for example, Joe Rogan just, you know, recently moved to Austin, Texas.
Right.
He's trying to recruit people to come. He Cap City, because of the lockdown, was one of the comedy clubs that went under. And yeah. I believe he's going to take that over, and he's going to design the club and whatever. And so, dude, Austin might be the city that I land in. As of right now, Pudge, it was just like when I was homeless. I don't think too far into the future. I got today. I got right now. What am I going to do right now to make me better in the next moment? What am I going to do right now to propel myself in the next moment? I think there's like 10,460 seconds in a day. That means there's 10,460 moments. What am I going to do with those moments? I'm on a 24-hour basis. So, like, you know, and it's fine. You're asking me questions about the future and that. Dude, you know what? I don't know. I don't have a fucking plan. All I know is tomorrow night I can get up at Ocha. I got to work on a couple things because I'm going to be at Side Splitters on Sunday, and it would be fucking dope if the dude there was like, hey, I'd like you to come back. So that's what I'm concerned with. And then after Sunday, we'll worry about Monday.
Have you thought about finishing Florida, like maybe heading down to Key West?
I got people that I'm working on doing shows, hopefully with some money in Sarasota and nice. Daytona Beach. Orlando is a little bit more restricted than other places because of like Disney World and whatever else. So they kind of have a little bit more restrictions than say the rest of Florida. But, you know, I think eventually too, I don't know what the comics think about me here, and I don't mean this disrespectfully. I just mean this coming from my life. I also kind of don't give a shit. I don't care because I'm working on my act. I'm working on me. And if they want to hang out and be on board, great. If they don't, there's nothing that I could do. They don't know what I've been through the last fucking 9 months in goddamn New York City. They've had it real easy here in a sense because they've been able to perform. They're still able to perform. There's some of them even get money for it and whatever else. And they, it's been very hard to describe to people in these other cities and states the lockdown of New York because when you say lockdown, they picture their lockdown happening in New York. But when I'm sitting there telling them that the city that never sleeps has a fucking curfew, the subways are still down from 1 to 5. You can't go inside a place, for Christ's sakes. Still. And it still doesn't really resonate, which I understand because all we could do is judge our experiences. That's all we could do. So
do you find comedians that you're meeting across the country, do you find them asking you for advice? Do they, being a New York City comic, do they look at you differently? Maybe a little more like higher up the true chain?
No, they might look at me like, all right, let's see how funny this motherfucker is.
Challenge.
Big old New York. I mean, I had some kids in Alabama. Dude, I'll tell you this. I had a big test in Huntsville. These two fucking losers. These two fucking hack pieces of shit. I show up to a mic at 7:30 at this Copper Top. I think the name was Copper Top Tavern or some shit. And they're supposed to have a mic. I showed up at 7:30. The mic was supposed to start at 8. I saw one comic. I guess he's a big deal there or something. Whatever he manages at the Stand Up Live there, and he gets some stage time. Hopefully someday he'll have some fucking jokes. But him and the host come in, and they just play Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know, but the mic's there and whatever. So I'm just like, fuck it. Maybe they're waiting for other people. I don't know what's going on. I'm not from here. So I'm just sitting at the bar writing. And then my friend there, Tamagram, shows up, and she's like, hey, did they do the mic yet? Whatever else. I'm like, no, man, I just been sitting here fucking writing, whatever else. So she goes over and talks to him. So this dumb host, again, this hacky, awful piece of shit, comes up to Tam, and he goes, so, Tam, you want to get up, right? Yeah. And he goes, so, are you a comedian? And I go, well, it depends on the audience, buddy. And he goes, well, do you want to get up, buddy? And I looked at Tam like, this kid just, and I just went, well, I do, but you don't have to be rude about it. He goes, do you want to get up or not? Yeah, I do. So they had 4 comics. I was the 4th one. This douchebag introduces me as, this next guy comes to stage. I guess he is really funny. So everyone, Tim Warner. And I go up. And these 2 douchebags, dude, about 7 feet from me, they just turn their backs to me and just stand right in front of me like a fucking wall in Mexico. And just had their back to me. When the kid lit me, he lit me like without turning around. And they just blatantly stood there like that. And then the great thing is I ended up doing really well with the fucking drunken crowd that was there and whatever else. And it was just like, that's how you're going to be. And the thing is, dude, 16 months ago when I was a fucking drunk, when I was sitting there snorting lines, whatever else, dude, I would have gotten myself in trouble that night. I'm not saying I would have kicked some ass. I probably would have gotten my ass beat, but I would have fucking started some fucking shit. And I took the higher road. And let me tell you, dude, I went home. Well, I didn't go home. I went to Tam's. She let me sleep on the couch. I went to her place, and I hated myself for taking the high road. I was so upset with myself And then, I asked the question, hey, Tim, in 5 years, is this incident going to matter? And I went, you know what? No, it's not going to matter. And after a couple days, it kind of went away, like the anger or the frustration that I had with him. And then I ended up going to Bill Hicks's grave, whatever. And that's when I ended up being really proud of myself. And and this is something I truly believe. I really think the universe did that to me to test me and to see if I am really at where I've been saying, where I got a great mindset. My energy is fucking contagious, right? I could talk it. But then the universe went, all right, let's see if this is true. And then I took the right road. I did the right thing. And now I think the universe is thanking me right now because, again, in Tampa, dude, let me tell you something. I know you went with me a couple times to like St. Mark's back in the day with all the musicians and whatever else. And when I would go on stage, if they were all in the back, fucking doing whatever you do in the back there, and then someone would come out and go, hey, Warner's on stage, and they would all come running in to watch. That's what these musicians are doing here, and I've only been here 2 weeks. But they've seen me almost every night. You know what I mean? They think they actually think I've been here for way longer, And again, universe is blessing me with that. The lady that gave me the $40, that was because I took the higher road. That I'm actually showing the universe, yes, I am a better person. And I do have things of value to offer. It's not just about jokes. It's not just about me being a comedian. My jokes and what I try to present, I want to give value to others. You know what I'm saying? Because time is the most valuable commodity on the planet. More than money, more than gold, more than anything else. It's the most expensive commodity. And if you are willing to share your time with me, I have to make that valuable. I have to. I have to make it worth your while. I don't want you to waste your time. I want you to share your time. And you could feel it. Motherfuckers can feel it here. One thing that I've heard from everybody that has come up to me in Huntsville or has come up to me in Tampa, whatever else, they've all been like, dude, I fucking love your energy. Or I get to hear, dude, you're saying everything I've been thinking, man. And it's just like, great, because I'm talking to a bunch of motherfuckers like you. I know what you're thinking without even knowing you.
And the fireworks are going off behind you right now. It's the most beautiful fucking thing. It's the word of Tim Warner and the fireworks. It's wow.
Yeah, and let me tell you, if I may, I know we've been talking about comedy, but let me tell you some things about like Huntsville, for example. You would love this. You're aware of Operation Paperclip, right?
Yes. Paperclip, the Germans. Yes, World War II. We snuck a few of them into the U.S. to work for us, the scientists, because we needed their brains and technology so we can advance ourselves before the Soviet Union. It was a big tug of war and a big yes. Am I right? Am I close?
You're 100% on, dude.
Yeah.
And guess what? That's why Huntsville exists. They went to Huntsville.
Operation Paperclip, that's where they hid the Nazis? Get the fuck out. So there's a German population there, I guess.
Retired Nazis in Huntsville.
Get the fuck out.
They have the Redstone Arsenal base, right? That's where they test out, I don't know what they're called, but like the boosters, the back end of like missiles and rockets.
Yeah.
They test them all there. So it's so fascinating when I was there, and you would start hearing shit in the background, whatever, trying to get the fireworks, perhaps.
Yeah, I see it.
There's a tree in the way. But,
they're celebrating you, Tim. They're celebrating you.
But so they like you would hear shit going off in the day, and then like if you want to know what's going on, you like go to their Twitter and they'll be like, "Yeah, we're testing some shit today," and everyone's just like, "Oh, that's just the Arsenal base. They're just making some noise." And I'm like, "Really? You don't ever wonder? You don't?" Like everybody there, not everybody, but there's a lot of engineers in Huntsville, very intelligent people in Huntsville, by the ways. I know that, you go under the Mason-Dixon line and everybody thinks, anyone who kind of talks like this is a little bit of a fucking idiot. Nah, 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 nah. Dude, you go to Huntsville, there's a ton of geniuses fucking just hanging out in Huntsville.
How were you able to put together the Operation Paperclip in Huntsville? Did someone tell you about it, or were you Googling it? Like, how'd you put 2 and 2 together?
When I got there, Tama Graham was like, "Hey, do you know what Operation Paperclip is?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She goes,
Yeah.
"This is why Huntsville exists." And then I ended up looking it up, and the main scientist, the main guy, von Braun, he worked. There's also NASA there in Huntsville.
Okay.
It's all government in Huntsville, brother. So they got a NASA thing there, and that's where von Braun worked on the Apollo missions and all of that shit before he went to Arizona or whatever else. And this is all in Wikipedia too, by the way. You can look it all up, which I did after I heard about this. And they're also going to be getting an FBI headquarters out there in Huntsville. So, like, this little city, about 200,000, 250,000 people, most of them work for the government. 90% of them are civilians. 10% are actual government workers. And that place, dude, there's got to be a lot of shit that's really going on behind the scenes.
So you're getting a lesson not only in comedy and the road, but a little deep state history, a little deep state American history lesson as you travel, because a lot of people. I mean, if you're watching this, Google Operation Paperclip. If you're into history, if you love American history, conspiracies, and all that little shit in between, and things you're not supposed to know, and secrets, Operation Paperclip is a good start.
Yes.
And you were in the middle of it.
Yeah. And dude,
that's crazy.
And for someone like me, I mean, that was a real mind-blowing time being there, And dude, on top of it, not only when I go to every city, because the great thing is, dude, when you're a visitor at someone else's place, they love to tell you the stories of it.
Yeah.
They love to tell you. So
yeah.
Every place I go to, dude, I'm learning, like, I know I'm learning what makes Tampa tick. I'm learning, like, the history of it. Again, I'm in Huntsville. I'm learning what makes it tick. I mean, dude, the first person I met in Huntsville was an 84-year-old lady, this beautiful little creature, Betty Hazel. Hi, how you doing? I'm Betty Hazel. I went to a meditation meeting. She offered me strawberry cake. I've never had strawberry cake before. So I said, fuck it, Betty Hayes. Give me some goddamn. She took me to another meeting. She drove me by the stand-up comedy club just so I would know where it is. And it's like, she was the sweetest fucking thing in the whole goddamn world. She told me a bunch of history of stuff about the NASA and all of that. And it's like, it's just between these AA meetings and, I mean, the Huntsville AA meetings, let me tell you, they really whipped me into shape, brother. I actually started going through step 4 and doing the personal inventory. And, like, that has fucking changed my life. And it was all because of the stories and shit that people shared. And, like, it was just different than in New York, man. Like, just watching, it's like, it's amazing, dude, that all these AA meetings are in different places, but it's all the same stories of people trying to overcome. And then, again, I get to talk with regular people, and then I'm hanging out at clubs, and then not clubs, bars, or whatever else. I've been to a couple clubs here in Alabama, which is nice. I mean, in Tampa, which is nice. Like Coconuts, for example, it's an exact replica of the original Improv in New York City. It's
Really?
an exact replica. The size of the room, the fucking bricks, everything, dude. It's so fucking beautiful. It's so
Okay.
beautiful. But then afterwards, I get to talk with audiences, and they share stuff, and then they're like, "So, where are you staying in Tampa?" And it's like wherever my car is. It's usually this one Walmart, and then we just get talking. You know, why'd you leave New York? What's going on there? I share my experiences. They tell me about theirs. Like, again, the amount of data and experiences that I'm collecting. It's like I'm fucking Johnny Five. It's just more input, more input, more input. And I'm a sponge right now because I don't judge people on their fucking political beliefs. And like, I don't sit around and go, geez, did you hear what that guy said? I tend to ask the question, why the fuck did they say that? Where is that coming from? Because usually if it's hateful, it comes from an insecurity that they have.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
it's not that they're fearful. They're not hateful. And it's just being able to see that. And then also I'm doing all of this at a time when you shouldn't be traveling. You shouldn't be seeing other people. You should be staying in and shutting your mouth and don't ask fucking questions. And I'm doing this at a time when that is supposed to be done. And I'm saying, fuck you. I'm asking questions. I'm fucking traveling. I want to see if this is all the chaos that they put on CNN and that they put on Fox and MSNBC. And I'm telling you, dude, it's a lot more boring than you think.
You're experiencing middle America as it is, what it truly is.
Yeah.
Not the Fox middle America, not the CNBC middle America, not the CNN middle America, not live. And you're taking notes, I assume.
Yeah.
And you're letting people know, and you're spreading the word.
Yeah. You know, whatever, I'm spreading whatever truth I believe. I don't know what the truth
You're hitting
is.
it right on the nail. You're not the only, I swear to God, I heard this. It's the same shit. The media is just taking the 10% that's wrong, the 10% that's hateful, the 10% that's visual, the 10% that bleeds, and is magnifying it 110% and has people riled up.
Well, it's like,
and it's all bullshit.
It's like, for example, dude, you know, I was in Syracuse, New York when they lit the Rockefeller tree. And I'm at this bar where a bunch of people from high school go to and whatever else. There's like 10 of us in there. And I somehow become a moderator because, again, people could tell, dude, I don't have a bias. I don't have a dog in the fight. I think Biden's a cunt. I think Coppola is even worse. And I think Trump's a big fucking dildo. So it's like, I don't think anyone's better for picking one or the other. I think we're all fucking idiots. And I mean, the fact that some of the language we use, where it's like, well, you know, we're gonna pick the better of two evils, and it's like it's still evil. Oh, I'm gonna pick the better poison, and it's like, dude, if it was a better poison, wouldn't it just be a drink? Like, why do we accept this, and then we think we're doing something great because we're choosing a better poison? You're fucking insane. We should not be choosing poison at all. But yet, we sit back and we just fucking
I've said it myself. What's the difference between a Republican and a Democrat? Well, that's like saying, what's the difference between dog shit and cat shit?
About $250,000. I think that's the difference. It's about it. They're all liars, murder. Federally, they're all liars, murderers, scumbags. Every single one, from fucking Donald Trump to AOC. They're all fucking scumbags, dude. There are no saviors in federal politics. Again, the only saviors are the people. That's it. There's no Superman that is going to come in and save all of this, dude. You've got to vote for your fucking mayor, your goddamn city council, your House of Representatives, your fucking senators, your goddamn governor, whatever else I didn't miss. Like the local shit, hopefully more than anything through this goddamn COVID, will help you recognize that every position matters. Look at fucking stupid de Blasio, right?
Gee.
He won 2 elections in a row, and this guy is the biggest ass clown in the world, dancing with his wife underneath a ball in front of no one. The guy's a fucking idiot. He should be skinned alive in the middle of Times Square, in all honesty. And I know there's a shitload of New Yorkers that would love to do that.
And he's won twice, and nobody knows how. Everybody I meet, nobody voted for him, but somehow he won twice.
Yeah, because you know what, dude? They just checked blue. Yeah, he's blue. I'm going to check him. Well, this blue happened to be a fucking idiot. And you should pay attention more next time.
No argument here. Tim, so what's your plan? What's your plan for tomorrow?
My plan for tomorrow is at least try to pick out what my type 5 is going to be for Sunday. To get on the list at Ocha Lounge. To hopefully pick up a couple grams of weed, and then go to Ocha Lounge and hang out with people, and then hopefully get some good rest, and then Sunday just hope to do my best at side splitters, you know.
The type 5 at side splitters?
Yeah, they only do 5 minutes.
Okay, all right.
It is what it is.
Well, good luck.
I'm grateful for it, you know, and whatever else. Like, again, just the fact that I'm able to perform, the fact that I could sit around and at some point, like, get laughter, and to hear it, and to hear applause breaks, and all of that shit. I mean, just to be a part of it again, you know, I hope this fucking COVID and all of that has helped people to recognize what the fuck you want in life, and to go out and just fucking get it, you know? Here's an interesting thing about Tampa, Pudge. You know, they're having the Super Bowl here.
Yeah, they are.
Do you know they want to have the Super Bowl be full capacity?
Get the fuck out. They're trying to do that?
I don't know who. Here's kind of the problem with it. I don't know who they is. In the sense, like, I don't know if it's DeSantis. I don't know if it's even, you know, bigger government. I don't know if it's the NFL. I don't know. I don't know what the they is, but they want full capacity. So basically what they're doing is, it's kind of like, hey, dummy, do you want to go see Patrick Mahomes? Take the vaccine.
Oh.
So they're doling out the fucking vaccine.
Oh, see, I know there's a hook. There's a hook somewhere.
Yeah.
They're dangling it.
Yeah.
Oh, makes sense.
So as of right now, from what I understand, 25% capacity is 13,000 in that stadium, and I believe 65 is full capacity. So basically, dude, if you see in a month the Super Bowl have full capacity, it's because all of those people got vaccinated. And all of them, more than likely, are going to be so willing to do it.
What better promotion of the vaccine than on the biggest
Super Bowl
of the year?
Yes.
The biggest day of the year around the world, believe it or not. I mean, we know it's like an American holiday, but it's actually watched around the world.
Yep.
What better promotion?
Yep.
And you're in the middle of it.
Yep.
Holy shit.
That's part of the reason why I want to stay till January, too.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely. You should fucking stay. You should fucking monitor. You should fucking take notes, video, record, ask questions, do what you do.
Yeah, indeed. Because it's like, dude, seeing the side of the COVID issue across the country is just beyond fascinating. You know, like I was trying to tell you, when I was at that bar, they're doing the tree lighting, okay? and I'm trying to relate to people like how much New York was, at least to me, was kind of like a prison, right? And people just aren't getting it. And I figured out why. And it's, you're sitting there and they got that fucking fat ass Al Roker, and then that stupid, what's her name, Susan Stern or whatever, right? And then they got the white guy that looks like Matt Lauer, but he doesn't grab ass. And then they got that one minority woman to kind of fill out that community college brochure picture of the Today Show that they do, so we can fit every American into this bullshit Father Knows Best, Donna Reed programming that they like to do. So they're all in front of the tree, and the camera angle has it where you see the tree and those four fucks, but then you don't see, because I was in New York and I know they got those big concrete blocks on either side so no one could go into Rockefeller because you can't have too many people around because they might spread the COVID. But you can't see that shit.
Oh.
So when regular America is fucking watching shit from New York,
they're not beautiful. Yeah.
They're not even seeing
it's edited.
Really
it's
is
censored.
Going on. Yep.
No, it's edited. It's censored. It's blocked. It's like that's how you control. That's how you control the people. You don't show them everything. We've been at war in multiple countries for over a dozen years, but you never show the bodies coming home because you don't want to. You don't show the bodies coming home. You don't show the American flags because that's going to give a negative image, and we don't want to portray that to the people. Well, God forbid they question us.
It's like even look at last night, for example. I don't know if you saw any footage of Times Square, but the camera angles they chose to use, they had a couple little bubbles of some military people or whatever else, right? And blah blah blah. But they would put the camera tight on that, and then they would just show the ball or whatever, but they didn't show that much of the rest of Times Square and the nakedness and the sadness of it all. Because, again, it's this bullshit image of like, oh, everything's okay. And it's
I brought it up. I did an IG Live with somebody last night, and the first thing that popped into my head, what I noticed was they're dumping 3,000 pounds of confetti in Times Square. For who? For who? There's 3,000 pounds of confetti for who?
There's essential workers. The essential workers, so they could clean it up and we could call them heroes.
It's smoke and mirrors.
Yep.
Welcome to America.
Yep. And again, dude, it's a fucking war on tradition. This whole thing is a psych op on hope. And it's just, I can't sit around and allow people in my country to fucking lose hope, because that is the American dream. That was the thing that upset me with the fucking rally for comedy, whatever, that jerk-off fest that they had, because all these dumb owners who don't give a fuck about their comics, I don't give a shit what anyone says, I'll say all their fucking names, they don't give a fuck, and half of their places should go under because they've treated people like shit. They treat their venues like shit. There's a couple good ones, maybe, but their angle was like, oh, our workers and our comics can't get money. And the angle I feel they should have done is, here's what's beautiful about New York. This is why we put up with New York City. This is why we spend $1,000 a month just to live there and be elbow to asshole with everybody on the subway and deal with all of the shit. It's because of hope. You moved to New York City because you could walk one block and your life could change for the best or for the worst just by walking one goddamn block. Now imagine in the beginning of March, dude, we literally right now could have the next Richard Pryor, the next George Carlin have moved to New York City in the beginning of March, and now this kid has been sitting in his goddamn apartment, and if he goes outside, all these SJW and these fucking AOC badge drinking fucking dildos start calling him names and shaming him and whatever else. And then he's like, fuck it. So he stays in a little bit more. He starts losing hope because he can't get up. And now all of a sudden he's disinterested in comedy. That's why you need to open up these fucking comedy clubs. Because you're hope, man. That's what New York's about. There's no fucking hope there.
I want to, dude. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know how to follow you.
Yeah, I had someone the other day tell me, they came up to me after a set and they were like, wow. So how do you feel doing a lot of right-wing comedy?
What?
And I went, I don't know if it's much as right-wing as much as I'm just right.
Touche.
You know, because it's like, again, where it's like, oh, because I question COVID, that makes me a right-wing? No, dude, that should make me a fucking patriot more than anything else. You know, it's, I mean, granted, yes, people have died, certainly. But the fucking mass hysteria and all of it with it. I mean, again, on the 79th day of Dr. Fauci's 79th year, they declared this a pandemic before it was a pandemic. And if you think that's really weird, the only thing that would be weirder is if a couple months before the pandemic, they did a computer simulation of the pandemic running loose on the world. That's the only thing that would be weirder. But guess what? They did it. It's called Event 201. Ha!
Yeah.
It was founded and sponsored by the World Economic Forum, which is the billionaires and the fucking politicians of the world.
Didn't that happen in like the fall of 2019?
October 18th, 2019 in New York City.
Yes.
You can watch the highlights on YouTube.
Yes. That was the whole it was the pre-COVID, the pre-corona, pre-everything test case, or they were walking through the scenario, walking through a possible scenario.
Correct. And the reason why it's called Event 201 is because there are 200 viruses in the world every year, and our immune systems can handle that. But if there was just one more, we're going to have to do lockdowns, and we're going to have to tell you. Do you know in France last night, if you wanted to hang out with people, you had to get a permit? A permit to hang out with people.
A permit, like you got to pay, you got an application.
I had to get a permission. You had to get fucking permission. You had to have papers to fucking hang out with people.
Show me the papers. Show me your papers.
Yep. And wait till they start doing these fucking COVID passes and whatever else. You got your papers so we know you're clean, Mr. Comedian?
Oh, it's coming. It's coming. Yeah. You want to get a job? Where's your vaccine? Your kids want to go to school? Where's your Corona card? Do you have a Corona card? Yep. It'll be on your license. They'll probably put it on your license now. They're gonna update the licenses with a box that says Corona check. Vaccine check.
Yeah.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yep. And you know what? So many people don't care because Joe Biden's in office. So everything's solved now. And it's just like, we got duped with Obama, and we're going to get duped with this motherfucker because when he's either kicked out of office in 2.5 years or he fucking dies, Coppola's going to take over, and it's not going to necessarily be 2 years. So she's going to be able to run for 2 terms. So she may be president for 10 years. And if my straight white ass isn't on board with her, I'm a sexist and I'm a rapist, and that's not true. I'm just not into somebody that withholds information for an innocent man on death row and lets him die. Has nothing to do with her sex. It has nothing to do with her fucking culture. She is an evil fucking person who put how many black and minorities in jail over marijuana charges on nickel bags of weed, and then admits that she smokes the shit. Huh. That's why I don't like her.
Somebody gave you a couple of 100s, Anthony.
I
Yo, we can go on and on and on. The minute you said Kamala Harris for 10 years, I was like, oh shit. Okay, I'm gonna check out now. That's too much for me.
Well, you know, it's interesting, buddy. You know that Mason sign?
Yeah.
That angle? That's a 47-degree angle, which makes me believe the 47th president of the United States is going to be a woman.
I mean, yeah, I don't see Biden. You know, he's old. I think they're gonna cut his meds off just after he gets sworn in, and they're gonna just watch him.
Oh, dude, they've been weekending Bernie, him, that motherfucker, the whole year.
Yeah, they've been carrying him. They're shooting him up with something right before a debate, right before a speech, and then, I mean, everyone can tell. Everyone knows it. Yo,
not everyone knows it, dude. There's a lot of these people, dude, are just, they're blind to a lot of notions. They only see what they want to see. They won't even look into question marks. You know, like one of the things I do think is a positive about COVID is now you can start talking about 9/11 shit and people aren't fucking yelling at you because it's better than talking about COVID. But do you know things like United 77 minutes after takeoff, crashed into the 77-foot-high Pentagon on the 77th latitude, and it's probably just a fucking coincidence, and there's nothing to see here.
Well, yeah, you told me about this numerology thing. It's kind of freaky.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, when you look at the project for a new American century, which was written by Condoleezza Rice, Donald Rumsfeld, Dick Cheney, George Bush, all those fucking scumbags, what they said was in order to initiate change, we needed a catastrophic and catalyzing situation to have happened, kind of like a new Pearl Harbor.
Right.
Well, on September 11th, there were 3 buildings that fell that day. Even though the textbooks only tell you 2, there were 3 buildings that fell that day. Building 1, Building 2, and Building 7. And when is Pearl Harbor? December 7th. Or numerically written out 1, 2, 7. But it's probably just a fucking coincidence and there's nothing to see here. You know what's amazing, dude? For all the people that give me shit about COVID and whatever, do you know there was a time in this country when people believed in the Gulf of Tonkin? They totally thought that thing happened. People went into the draft. They went into the Vietnam War. They came back a fucking mess, whether it was without body parts or mentally fucking gone. And then you're going to tell me the government's going to declassify this information and say that the Gulf of Tonkin never fucking happened.
It was
What's
fake.
going to happen in 50 years?
We were never
Maybe
attacked.
they release some files that say that COVID-19 was just a fucking flu.
Because when they do that, there'll be something else down the line that would distract us.
Well, in 19 years, the grid's going to go down. 2039, everything happens in 19 years. Right now, you have a war on tradition. 19 years ago, you had the war on terror. 19 years before that was the war on drugs. 19 years before that, when they took out Kennedy and they took out Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, that was a war on individuality. 19 years before that was World War II. 19 years before that was the Great Depression. I think you're starting to see a fucking pattern here.
Yeah, 19.
Just like COVID, 19 is the number of chaos.
Wow, this is a whole other episode right here, dude. This is another 2 hours.
Dude, let me tell you again, the amount of just information and stories and experience, dude, that I'm gathering for all the New Yorkers that made me feel like a piece of shit, that made me feel like I was a kook, that made me feel, I've been talking with doctors, I talk with nurses, I meet a bunch of fucking people and I ask questions about PCR tests and whatever else, and I got people in the healthcare industry telling me I know what the fuck I'm talking about when I'm questioning these things. I had a great conversation with a gentleman last night who was in the healthcare industry because I brought up the line, I go, healthcare, it's like jumbo shrimp. You know what I mean? The healthcare industry, the only way they make a profit is if we're all sick. And he goes, well, what if I told you I worked in the healthcare industry? And I said, well, I guess I'd ask you, do you think I'm wrong? And he went, well, I go back and forth with it. And I was like, no.
Struggling. He's struggling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Internally. They know.
Yeah.
They know.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And then now
Listen,
you got fact checks, and now they
yeah.
suppress certain kind of information. I mean, just the idea that after the election, all of a sudden, for about a week, the FBI started looking into the Hunter Biden laptop. But when that story came out by the New York Post, Twitter suspended accounts that shared it. They suspended the New York Post account for creating that fucking article. And it's like, you got to be fucking kidding me that a week later, a week after the election, the FBI starts looking into it, and you didn't see anyone in the media, whatever else, go, ooh, sorry about that. Maybe we should have let that story publish.
There's so... Oh man, I could be with you. I could be on with you forever. Like I don't want to say anything because we're just gonna go deeper and deeper into this fucking rabbit hole, and it's a huge hole. It's like a rabbit's ass is like that's how big this American rabbit hole is. It's just fucking nuts. But I think I got to wrap it up because we're hitting the dude. You broke the record. We're hitting the 2-hour mark.
Jesus,
but,
dude, that did not feel like 2 hours though.
Amazing, awesome. I knew this would be great. Before we get out of here, just because we started with the comedy, this is what we're doing. Any advice for any comedians? Like, what would you, all those New York comedians you left behind, and any other young up-and-coming comedians coming up across the country, knowing what you know, being where you are now, and everything you've gone through, what advice would you give them?
Wow, that's a great question.
You know the comedians. You know us. You know everybody you left in New York, and you're seeing everybody.
Don't listen to anyone. Don't
Say it
listen to anyone. When someone gives you advice, they're just trying to tell you how they would do it. It's not how you will do it. There is no right or wrong. There's an audience everywhere. There is a difference between peace and love. There is hate speech and so forth. But there is no right or wrong. And the thing is, whatever you laugh at, write it down. And if you laugh at it, eventually audiences will. You know, you may not formulate it right away, whatever else, but learn how to trust yourself and don't try to impress these people that book shows or produce shows or whatever else, because they're just fucking people, and most of them are failed fucking comics who couldn't do anything in the game. So the reason that they feel they can contribute and have some power is by being a booker or a producer. They know they're not Superman. They know they're Lex Luthor, and they want to kind of fuck up the party and put up people with angles that they think. And I will tell you this, if you're in an area, if you're hanging around with people that don't support you, that aren't aligned with what you're doing, go somewhere where you're loved. Go somewhere where you're supported, because it's about growth. It's about evolution. It's about the artistic integrity and the human potential that is in all of us. If you just want to do dick and fart jokes, I'm going to tell you right now, people are going to start turning on you, because after all of this shit, real audiences aren't going to want that shit. They're going to want someone fucking being real, transparent, and fucking talking to them. And if you talk at your audience, don't ever fucking do that. No one cares about you. It's only comedy. You're not going to get famous doing this shit. So kick your fucking ego and write.
Thank you, Tim.
That's what I would say. Good question.
Well said. Thank you. With that, I thank you again. We will stay in contact.
100%.
All right, and good luck.
Indeed, brother, and same to you. And just keep your fucking head up. If you're up there and you get down, whatever, just make smart moves and just know it isn't forever. And if it fucking feels like it, you can easily do something about it at any moment of the day.
Before you go, what's your Patreon so everyone can know?
It's page. Everything on the internet I do is I am Tim Warner. So YouTube, I am Tim Warner. Patreon, I am Tim Warner. Fucking check it out, dude, because I'm showing a lot of behind the scenes of everything I'm doing. It's all video. You can watch all of it and whatever else. And you can contribute, ask questions. If you want certain kind of episodes, I'll fucking do it. So everything is I am Tim Warner.
Awesome. Tim, thank you so much. Good luck. Stay safe.
And
we'll keep in touch, man. Be safe.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you soon. And thank you so much for this opportunity. And thank you so much for just thinking of me and whatever else. And I fucking love you to death. And we'll talk soon.
And this won't be the last. You'll be back on. So no worries. We'll keep track.
100%, brother. Be
Thank
well.
you, man. Be good.
Later.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and the only Tim Warner. That motherfucker is real. And yo, all my heart, all my positive energy, all my everything to Tim, because he's doing him. He's doing him. I don't know a comedian who's worth their weight not want to be in his shoes, because that's what it's about. Just leaving everything behind and following your gut, following your dream, and just doing you. I mean, he's not doing anything but comedy. So I don't know how long his quest is going to be, but I want to see I can't wait for the future. I want to see what comes out at the end, because something's going to come out. It's just for real. Tim, yes, and Mr. MVP, this motherfucker's out there doing it. He's laying down the road. I'm like this close to fucking following. Yes, I've had thoughts. Yes, and this is before. Every comedian, I think, has had those thoughts about what happens. What should I leave? Could I leave? And all that. And I myself am guilty. Yes, I've had those thoughts. I'm actually plotting. I'm planning myself. And thank God for Tim Warner, who's probably laying down the groundwork for us. The first one through the wall is always the bloodiest, but we got to pay homage to him, because I think he's laying down definitely the road for us and a lot of people. Because, yeah, I think people will be migrating out of New York. Not that it's a bad thing that New York's going to go under, nothing like that. It's just about finding ourselves, finding who we are, and exploring the rest of the city, the rest of the country, all these other states, because it's not all about New York. It's about everyone else. And like I said, finding yourself. So thank you, Tim Warner, once again. Awesome interview. Definitely going to have one again. So thank you, everybody, for watching. We broke the record, 2 hours. Hot Pudge IG Live. I'll be posting it up on my YouTube. So if you tuned in late, go to my YouTube channel, Hot Pudge Sunday. Hot Pudge Sunday. Subscribe, and you will see this Tim Warner interview. And there's another one. There's a couple other ones I did with him earlier when he was still in New York. There's a nice short one called 6 Feet, 6 Questions, which I did during the beginning of the COVID pandemic. And my original IG Live I did with him, season 1. So I have a Tim Warner season 1 interview, and I have a Tim Warner season 2 interview, and a little something I did with him, 6 Feet, 6 Questions. So if you love Tim, you follow Tim, and you believe what he's saying, this motherfucker's deep. Hot Pudge IG Live, Hot Pudge Sunday, my YouTube channel. Check it out. Subscribe, and I'll definitely get him back. Thank you for watching. Again, Happy New Year. Today's January 1st, 2021, and what better way to pop it open, crack it open, and fucking just hit it than have Tim Warner on. So it was awesome. Thank you so much. I'm excited. This is good. He's got me all amped up. Thank you once again, Tim, everybody, for watching. Hot Pudge Sunday, YouTube channel. Be good.